On November 24, 1971, one man pulled off one of the most daring heists in America's history. He leaped from a plane into the darkness of a stormy night carrying $200,000 in cash. To this day, his true identity and fate remain one of the greatest unsolved mysteries of the modern era. This is the story of D.B Cooper.
Having to do this?
What are you intending to do?
I'll let you know at the right time for that. Here, just one more.
It was the day before Thanksgiving in 1971. A man using the name Dan Cooper boarded Northwest Orient Flight 305 in Portland, Oregon, bound for Seattle. Described as being in his mid-40s, the man seemed unremarkable, just another business traveler on a short flight. Shortly after takeoff, Cooper handed a note to the flight attendant, Florence Schaffner. At first she assumed it was just another flirtatious passenger, but when she opened it, her heart started racing. The note claimed that Cooper had a bomb in his briefcase and demanded $200,000 in cash, 4 parachutes, and a full truck standing by in Seattle for refueling. Schaffner discreetly passed a note to the captain, who immediately contacted air traffic control.
So you have the money on board, take off. And advise when you get parachutes and everything up. I will keep you posted.
The plane continued its flight towards Seattle as authorities scrambled to meet Cooper's demand. Passengers, oblivious to the drama unfolding, continued their journey, unaware of the hijacker among them. In Seattle, Cooper's demands were met, the passengers were released, and the ransom money and parachutes was delivered. Cooper allowed the plane to be refueled and then instructed the flight crew to head towards Mexico City, flying at a low altitude of 10,000 feet and at a slow speed. As the plane flew over the dense forests of Washington state, Cooper did something unthinkable. He opened the rear stairway and, without hesitation, jumped into the cold, rainy night, disappearing into the wilderness below. The crew had no idea where or when he jumped, and when the plane landed in Reno, Nevada, Cooper was gone, leaving behind only a clip on tie. What followed was one of the most extensive manhunts in FBI history. For weeks, authorities secured the vast wilderness where they believed Cooper may have landed, but despite their efforts, no trace of Cooper or the money was found. The FBI compiled a list of suspects, interviewed hundreds of people, and analyzed every possible lead, but the case remained cold. Over the years, many theories emerged about Cooper's true identity and fate. Some believed he was an experienced skydiver, perhaps a former military man who carefully planned the heist and survived the jump. Others speculated he perished into the rugged terrain, his remains never found. In 1980, a potential breakthrough occurred when a young boy discovered several $1,000s of the ransom money buried along the Columbia River. The money was waterlogged and deteriorating, raising more questions than answers. Had Cooper buried the money? Did it wash up there? And so, where was the rest? To this day, Seasoned investigators and conspiracy theorists continue to debate who D.B. Cooper really was. Was he a seasoned criminal mastermind, or an ordinary man who saw an opportunity and took it? Some claim to know his identity, while others believe he lived out his life, quietly blending back into the society.
We have one more request. We ask those passengers to go back on the taxi strip between the two runways. There's no reason for them to be standing there. They're only going to create confusion and some apprehension, so please direct those passengers to move back about 200 yards onto the common taxiway, please.
The legend of D.B. Cooper has transcended the crime itself, becoming a part of American folklore. He has inspired countless books, films and television shows, each trying to solve the puzzle every year. New theories and suspects emerge, but the truth remains elusive. The mystery of D.B. Cooper endures a tantalizing riddle that continues to captivate the world. Who was D.B. Cooper? Was he a criminal genius, a thrill seeker, or a desperate man? Nearly 5 decades later, we may never know the true story of the man who vanished into the night. But one thing is certain: D.B. Cooper, who was mistakenly named as D.B. Cooper, instead named as Dan Cooper, will forever be etched in history as the man who got away. The search for D.B. Cooper isn't over. Could the truth be out there, waiting to be uncovered? Perhaps one day we will find out the answers to one of the greatest mysteries of America's history.